Hi everyone, welcome back to Couloir Mining Talks. Today I'm joined with Mr. John Floric, CEO of Emperor Metals, a company leading the charge in AI-driven gold exploration in Quebec's world-class Abitibi Greenstone Belt. With a proven track record in the mining industry, John brings decades of expertise to Emperor's flagship, the Quain West Gold Project, which holds significant high-grade gold potential. Let's dive into Emperor's innovative approach and exciting plans for the future. John, welcome to the
Yeah,
show.
good to see you, bye Bob.
Of course.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
let's usually kind of start these things with a little bit on the history. So, you've had a career spanning over 30 years, not 3 years.
It's getting closer to
Um,
35 these days.
oh, no. And, including leadership roles at major mining companies like Barrick Gold, Kirkland Lake. What skills would you say you've developed that, are helping you shape the vision for Emperor Metals?
Yeah, so I have a really broad range of experience. Like I
Hmm.
said, I'm getting closer to 35 years in the in the business, I should say.
Hmm.
My first 15 years was in exploration. Subsequent years, the rest of my career has been in basically project development,
Hmm.
production, basically.
Hmm.
So, I worked underground for half a decade at Hemlo Gold Mines.
Hmm.
And most recently, I was up at Detour Lake Gold as chief geologist in a
Okay.
big open pit operation.
Hmm.
So I spent another half a decade or more there.
How was that like?
Oh, that's a pretty good open pit. They're producing like 800,000 ounces per year from one deposit. The
Wow.
team and we really advanced that significantly.
And what was your role over there?
Chief geologist. Yeah, so we did a really good job in making that mine profitable in the geology department
Hmm.
using, the foundational approach of AI.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was a pretty good stint up there, and basically the work that we did inspired Kirkland Lake to take out Detour Lake Gold, and then also an Eagle to actually swallow all of Kirkland Lake Gold. And now it's their flagship operation, pretty much. So that's pretty
Hmm.
good accomplishment for us
Yeah.
from the original Detour team and everybody that worked down it, engineers, geologists, operators, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just about to touch on that point, the artificial intelligence approach that you've had experience in that you're kind of advancing with Emperor Metals as well. It does seem to be quite a topic of conversation when we talk about Emperor Metals. So, yeah, what inspired you about taking this approach, and do you see any risks that are associated with that?
Yeah, what inspired? Well, the risks I think have been answered, right? We had foundational models of how AI could work
Hmm.
in a production setting, and we fed the mill.
Hmm.
And when we fed the mill with these foundational models, we saw 20% increase in gold going through the mill at Detour Lake Gold, which basically Detour Gold was basically break even to losing money when these new models came into production. That's what gave them an extra $150 million of revenue a year for life of mine, 40-year mine life. The price of gold was 1,100 at the time. So yeah, it has a huge impact. And I guess the question is, why am I using it? Well, like I said, the first part of my career was exploration, and as geologists, trying to understand how gold precipitates out of solution and stuff. There's many different academic articles and peoples and geochemists that have written about the subject matter. But when we digitize and stuff and make domains, we don't really capitalize on that. So by using, you know, several different discrimination diagrams and geochemical techniques, we can now calculate these things at um, I guess AI does like trillions of calculations per section. So we've created like novel geochemical domains at Detour in the 3D space that would be physically impossible previously to do, which is something that, I've always wanted to do, but was unable to because you just didn't have the manpower or
Hmm.
the compute and expertise behind you. So
Hmm.
yeah, so we're working with MapTech Domain MCF. They've been a real help in that. And so, yeah, we're excited about this technology in the future. And this is how we evaluate deposits too.
Hmm.
We had a new acquisition recently too, as well,
Would you
just
like to
last week.
talk about that?
Yeah, we picked up an orphan mine. It was set to go into production.
Hmm.
It's 3.3 kilometers of underground development, and they did a bulk sample. Basically, that bulk sample came back 96% recovery, and the average grade was 4.35 grams per ton.
Mhm.
There's a mining permit that was in place that's still in existence. You know, of 1,000 tons per day. So we're excited about that acquisition because that puts us in a near cash flow position in the future.
And cash is always good in the resource business.
Absolutely. I mean, my chairman of my board, he always says, hope is not a strategy.
Mm.
So we're developing Duquesne West, which could be a behemoth, big open pit of a high grade gold deposit that we've introduced investors to. Mm-hmm. And you wrote a report about that. But yeah, we had a really good acquisition too in just last week, and that puts us in a different ball game now. We're pre-production scenario, and gold price is rising, and we can fund our own exploration and pay our own bills, and maybe buy back our shares and give a dividend to shareholders in the future. So yeah, we're excited about what we're doing. We're potentially building a mining company.
Right, and you just kind of touched a point on your Duquesne West project, so I would love to talk a bit more about that. It's situated in one of the prolific Abitibi greenstone belt. What makes this Tier 1 district prime location for gold exploration and development?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to reduce your risk in exploration, where's the best place to find gold? Well, right next to a gold deposit. They always expand. We know the systems are working to precipitate gold out of solution. This district has already produced 200 million ounces of gold. I mean, it's an insane amount of gold if you think about it. It's about, probably 80 to 90% of the gold that Canada ever produced came out of this district. And there's still a lot of potential. So why wouldn't you be in probably the world's most prolific gold belt to find more gold ounces? So that's why we're here, and it's a great opportunity. So yeah, we have two assets in the Tier 1 district. Is anything over 5 million ounces, basically. What happened in this district, companies started off with 1 million ounces, 500,000 ounces. By the time they closed, they had 5 to 10 million ounces. Some of these deposits end up being 25 million ounces in this district. So yeah, a lot of opportunity here. Everybody should be excited. All the land is staked. So I guess the president of Agnico Eagle says that the Abitibi is not Nevada. It's bigger, and I agree with him.
Of course. Is there any history attached to the current project that you're advancing? Any prior drilling that had been done before you took over the project?
Yes, the deposit was just Duquesne West. That's what we're talking about now. Our flagship property was discovered like in the 1940s. There've been about 10 different operators on the property. It's a virgin piece of land. There's no development on it, but about 105,000 meters of drilling was done on the property. And what we did was we used it was really obscure deposit. There was some 43-101 reports, but they did polygonal estimation. We liked the resource. The initial historical mineral resource was 727,000 ounces of gold with an average grade of 5.42 grams per ton. What we liked about it most was had an average thickness of 5.7 meters. That was huge because that says the robustness of the system, the ability to grow ounces was there. We modeled it and used an AI approach, presented to the board of directors, and we acquired the deposit. So yeah, we're excited about growing it. And in our 2023 drilling season, we quickly realized that the potential of a large-scale open pit above this high-grade gold deposit. So that can add ounces more rapidly. And with our latest press release last week, as we're doing some of the infill drilling, we're seeing that we're hitting visible gold. And so we're getting like 38 meters at 4.1 grams per ton in the open pit environment that we introduced to investors. So that's a huge potential upgrade to this model.
And you're also moving towards a new resource estimate. What steps is Emperor taking to prepare for that? And what potential do you see for this project, as you mentioned, an open pit operation?
Yeah, this will be our maiden resource, a new MRE, Q1 of 2025. Likelihood is probably it's going to spill over into early quarter two because we're a little bit delayed on the assay. So that'll be huge. We really want to break that 1,000,000 ounce plus threshold to get the institutions and majors to look at us and what we're doing here. What intercepts like we had in the open pit that just gets us a little bit more excited.
Right.
So yeah, that's we released about half of our assays for 2024. We still have another, 8 to 10,000 meters coming in from the lab for news release before we start assembling the models for our MRE update in April or so.
The DeQuain West project holds a historical resource of 727,000 ounces of gold at 5.42 grams per ton. Can you share insights into how the ongoing drilling program is targeting the resource expansion?
Yeah, like I said, we had that huge intercept in the open pit, 38 meters of 4 grams per ton. And in a narrower interval, it was like 21 meters of 7.2 grams per ton or something like that. So yeah, that's really exciting. So that just shows that as we infill, I think that was a poorly understood area of the pit. We were expecting to see broad intervals of what we like in open pit of plus or minus. Well, it was 1 gram per ton plus or minus half a gram. But we started, seeing some physical gold so there's all this free potential for physical gold kicking around the system. That's huge for an open pit environment for getting really valuable ounces to a mill. So we're excited about that. And then we drilled to the east and we're growing the pit. Right now, the dimensions of the pit is 1.8 kilometers by 800 meters width down to 400 meters. And that was done at 1,600, I think, pit shell. So that's exciting. Can we expand this out to an open pit with a footprint of 2.8 kilometers maybe? And all that potential beneath it too that we have to discover. We have roughly 130,000 meters of drill. A typical deposit like this would take about 500,000 to 600,000 meters. Each of our drill holes keeps adding ounces. So when we say it's a maiden mineral resource estimate, we're going to break over 1,000,000 ounces over there. And it's not the end because we still have quite a couple 100,000 meters to keep adding ounces. So
of course,
yeah, so we're quite excited.
Emperor Metals is fully funded for its Q2 2024 drilling program. How has the company structured its financing to minimize dilution while advancing its projects?
Yeah, exactly. We, during this downturn market, we created a lot of news flow because we have all this historical core that we can assay because we were the first company to basically sample the entire drill hole. And what we found in 2023, which gave us the vision of a large-scale open pit, was there's gold grade in the host rock. And, we were encountering intercepts like 25 meters of 1.7 grams per ton. And that's good for an open pit environment. And nobody sampled that core. So we're going through the old historical core library and we're seeing all this mineralized rock that was not sampled because nobody cared about sampling for an open pit. They only cared about high grade underground. So back in the day, they only sampled stuff that looked like it would be like 5 grams and above. But we care as open pit geologists of sub-gram material because it makes us money. And so that is what gives us advantage to prevent dilution. Like this year, we did 8,000 meters as historical core assay. We haven't even had to drill an inch of it. We also did 8,000 meters of our own. We're probably $200 all in cost per meter and under. A typical Canadian project is $450. Some will go up to $800 to $1,000. So we get a lot of leverage there for our shareholders. We can get so much more drilling for the amount of money they give us compared to somebody just a few kilometers north. So yeah, we're excited to be very, very cost effective compared to almost all of our peers.
So as far as the management is concerned, Emperor Metal boasts a team of experienced mining professionals and strategic investors like Rob McEwen. How does the leadership and support strengthen the company's operation in the market?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're part of the Metals Group of Company, and we have John Williamson as chairman of the board of this company. He's a serial entrepreneurial geologist. I mean, he's formed like 20 different companies. 75% of them had successful exits. So that he's was involved with selling Caminact and Goldcore. Most recently, some of his successes has been Founders and Benchmark Thesis. I have a CFO, Sean Major. Okay. He's been with John for 30 plus years, business strategist, really good team. We also have Alex Horsley, he's my business partner, best investor outreach person that I know, very aggressive to get money. So we know how to raise capital. That's the point. We got Rob McEwen. He sees the strength of our innovation using AI. We're one of the few junior companies that use it aggressively. And basically, Emperor was birthed in AI. So Rob McEwen came on board. He sees the strategy that we're using with AI. He sees the vision. He agrees with it. So we're aligned. So yeah, it's great to have Rob on board. We have other high net worth investors. So some of the smart money is coming into this deal because at 10 cents, it's a buy. You look at it, our analogs in the district, they range between $50 to $300 million market caps with similar projects. And we're at $10 million market cap. So, this is the best time to buy. We can't go much lower. So buy low, sell high type deal.
Right. And as far as volatility and risks are concerned, as you know, the junior mining sector comes with risks like market volatility, price fluctuations of commodities, exploration uncertainty, and that sort of risks that investors care about. How is Emperor Metals mitigating these challenges when advancing its projects?
Well, I think AI helps us eliminate the risks. It's a very efficient tool. It helps us advance and progress the project quickly, so you don't have as much money waste. It's an efficiency and a cost saving.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing that you have to understand about AI. It's nothing to be scared of. It's easy to use, actually embrace. I didn't write the mathematical algorithm. Somebody else has. And that saves me dozens of hours of using geologists to construct something. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great tool. This is how we're managing any kind of our risks. And I think the risk is we're close to, a known deposit. In order to grow ounces to reduce your risk, the best place to drill is adjacent to a known deposit, especially when there's no drill holes adjacent to it. You're going to keep adding ounces. So that's as low risk as I can see in any exploration project, especially when you're in that, like we straddle the plumbing system that introduced all this gold. And there's 200 million ounces that already have been developed in this district. So yeah, I think we're pretty low risk compared to most exploration companies.
Yeah, just to talk about most exploration companies, with other companies active in the Abitibi region, how does Emperor Metals differentiate itself by providing a compelling value proposition for investors?
Yeah, AI and our new acquisition. I mean, a new acquisition is Lac Pelletier. It was all set up to go mining. I mean, so that's exciting. They have 3.3 kilometers of underground development workings. They did a bulk sample there. That bulk sample was 96% recovery of gold with an average grade of 4.35 grams per ton. They have a vent raise. They're all set up for mining. Now we have it. I mean, it was an orphan because of all these mergers and acquisition, but now it's under our umbrella. So we're excited to expand that deposit, and the infrastructure is all there. We has a mining permit in place for 1,000 tons per day that we have to get transferred over. So we're in the process of closing that deal. It's been announced under purchase and sales agreement. So yeah, we're a near-term cash flow type company or a pre-production company. So we're elevated compared to a lot of our peers because we could see with gold going to new heights. I thought, like, instead of begging for money, we could just kind of dig it out. We got something here ready to go. We like the story ourselves. I got most of my shares at 10 cents. Well, I think all of them at an average of 10 cents. We're at 10 cents. So if you jump in now, you're jumping in at the price point of the CEO. But I didn't come into this for 10 cents. I came up here for a couple bucks. And with this new acquisition, we could potentially build a mining company and stuff. So yeah, we're pretty excited about what we're doing. Look us up on the CSC under AUOZ, which is gold ounces. So that's what we're going to keep doing, adding gold ounces to our company and have several million ounces in our portfolio.
Great. Well, thank you very much, John, for your time. Thank you for joining us on Couloir Mining Talks. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. John Florik's unique blend of innovation and exploration with Emperor Metals is definitely very inspiring. Stay tuned for more conversations with the leaders shaping the future of mining industry. See you next time. This is your host, Vibe.
Thank you.